Sorry, 1 minute. I'm just putting out Instagram that we are going on air. Can you just Parthiv, just start, no?
Yeah.
Come on, I've been doing it for too long.
I'm new to this.
Just look into that camera and say, as
hello
usual,
and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. This
as
is
usual,
Parthiv
Gaurav
Patel.
Kapur is goofing off, so he's asking other people to do his work.
अरे क्या रायता फैला रहे हो आप दोनों यार?
He got caught. Actually, he got caught.
यार रायता फैला रहे हो दोनों. मैं उधर इकट्ठा कर रहा हूँ वहाँ पे डिंडोरा.
इधर काटो your आपका नया होस्ट एंड दोस्त.
दोस्त eating toast. मैं इधर डिंडोरा पीट रहा हूँ. आओ आओ शो शुरू हो रहा है. शो तमाशा शुरू हो रहा है. तमाशा शुरू हो रहा है. और ये लोग तमाशा संभाल ही नहीं पा रहे. इधर I tell you क्या हो रहा है इधर basically. This is a planned skit because ऐसा मैच में भी हुआ. एक तरफ ही सारा संभाल रहा था और दूसरा तरफ कुछ संभाल ही नहीं पा रहा था. इंडिया ने पूरा मैच संभाला and वेस्ट इंडीज कुछ ना संभाल पाया. That's right. A very, very big win for India. When you win by 59 runs, Mr. Bhogle, that's like an innings defeat in a test match.
You can say it's. I'm searching for a word from when I first got into this profession. It's comprehensive.
But sir, we also use comprehensive. We're not stupid. We use comprehensive.
No, I'm not being stupid. I thought I was dated if I said it.
No, comprehensive is a very...
Comprehensive. It's a comprehensive.
Sir, comprehensive is a very comprehensive word.
Okay.
Except for the first over in which 14 came.
Yeah.
And Akshar's over.
And they were never, one over from Akshar, but later on. But by then they'd already lost a wicket. They were never in the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were saying that 160 might have been enough. They might have played it a bit differently. It was 160. But they were never going to get 190.
It was only enough for Drake's though. He had read something like that.
But I mean, listen, if you're going to ask a guy after the bowling performance whether the runs they've given away are too many or too few, obviously the bowler will say too few only, no?
No, not too few. It's a good score. We'll have to bat well to win or something like that.
It's just a par score. It's
just
not too far. It's a par score.
हाँ तो वो तो बॉलर तो ऐसे ही बोलेगा ना बेचारे इतने रन जो दिए थे उसने तो उसको यही बोलना पड़ेगा ना कि I did okay. But yeah, the batters definitely will be disappointed today because as Harsha said rightfully, they were never really in the game. There was a few big overs, Parthiv, that came here and there.
Yeah.
But a few big overs will never win it for you when you need consistently 9.5 and over.
Absolutely. I thought India was smarter in terms of executing those slower ones, as we said in the mid-show that there will be a lot of cutters. Especially, I thought Avesh was brilliant the way he came back. The one boundary and the next ball was that cutter. So he showed that he has that ability to adapt to the situation.
Yeah.
We went for 14 in first over where it did not bowl any cutters, which is fine because that's what you expect from Bhuvneshwar Kumar, that he'll search for that swing.
Yeah, but he still finished 3 overs 21.
Yeah, but that is fine.
1 second. 3 overs?
Yeah. He bowled 1 over extra.
आज extra permit लेके आए थे भाई. Sorry, Parthiv, you were saying Indians bowled cleverly.
Cleverly, and Avesh Khan, you can see that on the, but he'll be very, very happy. And as we predicted that, he'll be the bowler who will bowl 4 overs, and that's what Rohit did. He gave him that confidence, and he bowled very cleverly today.
This is what has happened.
In his mind, last game, he's going back, he's thinking, I fluffed the last over, I could have been a hero. Previous game also, I was expensive. Maybe I've got my chances. And then he turns up and his captain says, no, you know what, I trust you and I'm going to give you one more chance because you've done well to come into the Indian team. If you come into the Indian team, you're already a good player.
Yeah.
You're not somebody who's just, naam ke vaase we just put you there. So I trust, I'll give you one more. Now at the end of the day, he's thinking, wow, man, I'm okay. Yeah. And I think that is what Dinesh Karthik and Hardik Pandya and everyone else have been saying about the air around this team. That everybody is being given enough chances.
Yeah, and they're coming good.
So nobody who's sitting on the fringe today can say, I didn't get a break. Yeah. Or, they don't want me or I'm feeling insecure. Everyone's getting chances.
If you remember...
Just to add to it, every player who comes into Indian team, he wants that sense of belonging. Especially in that Indian dressing room, and that's something which I think Rahul Bhai and Rohit Sharma understands really well, and they give that confidence to every player that yes, you belong here. And he rightly said that when you picked for India, that means you've done well.
I'll tell you what has changed. Ajay Jadeja for a very long time on Cricbuzz Live has said this line. I think it's almost, this line has now become immortal. Where he said on a Hindi show ke yahan team mein na selection nahi rejection chal rahi hai.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that has changed because now it's no longer that. And Avesh Khan being, case in point. And actually, in a way, obviously the young man's done all his bowling, but the way we were not soothsayers or crystal ball that we predicted that he would bowl 4 overs. This is just the way this team is bowling or going. When somebody's down, they show more faith in them. And they've done that with Avesh today and it's come good. Yeah. Can I just tell you one thing about the bowling analysis? This is just such a the fact that we're not talking about Arshdeep,
Yep.
right, is actually the biggest talking point about him. That this young lad, not even a dozen matches old in the India shirt, has bowled 3.1 overs for 12 runs and taken 3 wickets, and we are looking at that and saying, "ठीक है, ये तो रोज करता है."
This is exactly how he bowled.
Service as per usual.
those Yorkers, the way he bowled those in-swinging Yorkers, there's slightest of help from the wicket, which is I'm talking about the dry wicket as we spoke about, and I think Indian team is maintaining the ball really well to get it reversed. I think that it doesn't tail up that quickly, especially this balls, this Kookaburra ball. Usually it doesn't do a lot of reverse swing, and especially when you're talking about only 20 overs, and then if you can do that, obviously you have ability, but then Indian team is definitely maintaining the ball really well.
In legit ways.
In legit
You want
ways,
to add.
yeah.
Fully
Yeah.
legit ways,
Legit way,
okay? Before you get any other ideas.
So that's why I said maintaining it.
Maintaining.
I think the time we noticed it, I was just checking which over. I think he bowled the 12th over. He doesn't normally bowl the 12th.
Yeah.
When he came back for the 12th over, you could see one just started to tail in. And by the time he came back to what overs did he bowl? He bowled 18 and 20. The tail had no chance. You see, he was going into the pad, he was bowling full, he was hitting the stumps, the ball was tailing back into the left-hander.
They're really experimenting because Arshdeep so far has been bowling maybe 1 at the top, then 3 at the back. But once he bowled all four at the trot at the back. But now they're trying new things, which is what you can see. The eyes on the prize, which is, well, the Asia Cup and then, of course, the World Cup. Just to finish that point, जो आप अभी कह रहे थे ना, maintain the ball. इसको क्या हिंदी में क्या कहते थे? बोले बनाना,
बॉल बनाते हैं,
बॉल
अच्छे से बनाते हैं.
जो बॉल बनाते थे वो अलग
अलग जमाना था. वो comprehensive जमाना था.
वो comprehensive time का ज़माना.
Abhi nahi, now it's just being maintained. All right. The West Indies woes, we'll just talk about them for a second because what India has been doing right, well, this series has just been about what India is doing right. In fact, even in the match that India lost, that one match also you figured India did more things right than they did wrong. We always talk about the thought more than the result, and I think that's what's been spot on in this. You can't really fault any of the thought. Maybe one thing you can fault Rohit for today, which is that are the bowling changes becoming a little predictable? Right up front, you know he's going to give the 4th over to a left-arm spinner.
Yeah, that's something which very evident, which you can see that pattern in it.
Yeah.
Jadeja, whenever he played, he bowled that 4th or 5th over. Today also Axar came in and bowled that over, whether that over could have been bowled by Arshdeep or not. But yeah, you can see that pattern for sure.
We're clutching at straws here, but if that's the only thought that you can even find a little fault in, that means you know that they're really kind of playing the game well, and they're playing T20 cricket really well. I think this team has always been great, but the pattern of T20 play perhaps was not satisfactory. I think it's definitely back on track for the West Indies, though a lot to get on track. If you look at what their team has done today, if we just talk about the batting, losing 3 wickets in the power play, very difficult to come back from that, but not impossible. Again, it's not impossible because you have the batters, but it's just, I mean, look at that Pooran run out. I'm still scratching my head. I don't know if Mayers has gone back to the dressing room because
He went back exactly 2 overs later. He went back to the dressing room.
I think he went straight to the parking lot and just took a taxi and went home.
I'm not sure there was a run in the first place, but when your captain's played the ball front of the wicket, striker's call, he's charged after playing, then it's your job to go. And if you go hell for leather, sometimes you do make up. And run-outs often happen by that much if you stretch. Yeah. But he's called for it. And very often it's in front of the wicket. He calls, it's the non-striker's job to respond. So the non-striker's gone a little bit, but they haven't even met. I mean, he was 24 of 8 balls. If there's one person who was taking the game away or could have taken the game away, it was him.
I don't even understand the single at that point in time.
Yeah, that was smart cricket. He was trying to be smart.
Yeah, and you're being naughty. Naughty.
After hitting 22 runs and then last, 5th over of the power play, you have already scored 22 or 24 of an over. So you just want to play smart, just try and take one. But whether there was one there or not, that's a different...
But not just that, take one and then last over of the power play, you're back in strike again.
Back in strike, yeah.
Fair enough, but that was not the one.
That was not the one.
It really wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, Mayers had gone literally 3 steps. So it's a misjudgment from Mayers as well.
Yeah.
Should have probably just stopped his captain. But at that time, now here's the controversial question. You're seeing your captain going like that. You've played decently in the series as well. You're there, you're face to face. Do you then cross and say, Captain, you play? Nah, you don't. He didn't.
No, he didn't.
No, you don't have. He's a top order batsman as well.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's...
वो भी कम थोड़ी ना किसी से.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
It's just...
But today, I think that's the story for West Indies today. They got going, right? And it looked like that one player can take the game away, and then something silly like this run out would happen, or Powell would puts a full toss into the hands while he's putting all other balls for sixes, and the one that should have been put for an 8, he puts for a catch.
I'd really like to ask them if they genuinely believe they can win. Because when you think you can win, you approach it differently, you play situations differently. At no point we're watching the game do we think West Indies have a chance.
True.
And part of it is because I'm not sure they themselves believe they have a chance. I know Dominic Drake said it's only a power score and whatever, but I don't see in this that belief. Look, we're there. We're going to come after you. I don't see that anywhere.
It's a people may think that you're being a little harsh, but two reasons. One is that he is wearing West Indies colours today, so he is on their side a little bit. But secondly, more importantly, if you look back, even the game they won, right? It somehow towards the end of it looked like, oh, they're going to lose this as well. Even that was not comprehensive.
It wasn't. I think that's something which West Indies will have to try and see whether they can finish off the games. They're struggling to finish off the games from both ends. Even in first inning, last over has been going for big runs. Today, anyway, on this wicket, 190 was never. I don't think they were never in the game. But as we spoke in the last game also, that there is lack of planning. There is lack of the approach of the game, T20 game, where Indian team, they know that this is how we are going to play. Here you don't see it. I mean, that there's only one player who tried to play smart, Nicholas Pooran, he got run out after hitting 22 runs. So I mean, there is lack of approach and there is lack of clarity in their thoughts.
Okay, so West Indies, can they pull something back tomorrow? Remember, it's the 5th and final of this T20I. I think India, even after these 4 games, there are just so many positives. And even like today, I don't know who you pick as player of the match.
My choice would have been Rishabh Pant, actually.
Ooh,
because everybody struggled in the middle overs.
Yeah.
After the power play, both teams struggled, and then India got back again. In that difficult phase, he made 44 of 31. I thought actually Rohit Sharma has a fair call as well. 33 of 16, making the difference between a 160, 165 and a 190, giving that momentum. Yeah. So I was looking at either of those two because I thought once you get to 190, they'd given the game to the bowlers to shut the door.
Yeah.
But the batsmen had made the game today. Okay. If they had won with 140, 150, you give it to a bowler. That's the way I'd look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would like to see Avesh Khan become man of the match after the kind of games he's gone through.
Yeah.
Just maybe the way he started off, the way he came back. I think coming back into international cricket is the most toughest thing. After having so many, couple of big scars into it. So that's most difficult thing where you are coming with a lot of doubts in your mind and coming out and performing like 4 over 17 for 2. So I would like to see him become.
I think it's a Jazbati Patel.
Yeah.
Feeling for the young man.
Nice.
It's a nice story. Yeah, it's a nice story.
Emotion. After all, it's emotion that makes the world go round, not numbers. Now, you must have got it on the Cricbuzz app because you always have it open.
No, I've not looked.
No,
should I?
Who's? It looks like Rishabh Pant then.
No. It is Avesh Khan, who is one player of the match. So, even the adjudicators are being emotional, like Parthiv.
Absolutely.
Or it's just that if a Patel says something and it's happening in America, then they have to
get correct. Even if the Patel is not in America at the point. At the time. No, but the
worldwide jurisdiction.
They probably thought, look, 192, you need to get a couple of wickets early.
Yeah.
In a 190 chase, you're 2 for 17, you deserve to get it. I mean,
I'm just happy when a bowler gets it, sir. Batters get too much.
Yeah. Do they?
Yeah.
I thought it's shifting the other way.
No.
I sit in a commentary box and I don't see another batsman. I only am surrounded by bowlers all the time. And they're always giving it to bowlers.
Oh, the tide has changed.
And I know somebody's going to, some stats guy's going to sit and mine data and say actually more batsmen have got it.
Yeah. It is probably.
But I thought Rishabh Pant was very smart today with his batting.
Yeah.
We've heard commentators talking about strong wind. So that's he was going to hit against the wind to a left arm spinner on a longer side, and he did not try to hit 6. Usually when a left arm spinner comes in, he tries to go over mid wicket, and he did not do it. In that 4th over, he played everything along the ground. So that was very smart by Rishabh Pant.
So, we'll discuss this tomorrow as well after the 5th game, but now after the 4th game. Huh?
Later today.
What I'm interested actually is they'll have to play on the same track. They're not going to change the pitch.
They can't.
Yeah, they can't.
Because cameras and all, wires and all can't move. No cabling.
So what are we looking at 150 game tomorrow? 145, 150 game tomorrow? Win the toss bat?
Yeah, but don't guess today, huh?
It might just
who got the power play prediction correct? How much won the power play?
They were to 60 something, more than 60.
Nobody.
61. 61, so 56. Mine comes right, 5 runs.
You said 55.
55.
I never said 55. What is this?
You lost by a run.
What is this? I said 56. I said, should I go 46 or 56?
You said
I
40.
said 50. What? One is saying 55, one is saying 46. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the winner, and you're looking at the winner, congratulating the winner, because the other two non-winners, brackets, losers of this competition, are not willing to acknowledge the winner as the winner.
I got that absolutely right. I said West Indies is going to come out all guns blazing and they're going to die down. Okay? Exactly what happened. So I'm the ultimate winner. Patel in US.
Somebody is remembering me. All those prizes are remembering.
नहीं सर वो क्या कहते हैं उसको वो अंगूर क्या होते हैं अंगूर
खट्टे होते हैं?
नहीं जब हार जाओ तो क्या होते हैं
काले
नहीं और ट्राई करो
अनाबे शाही
थैंक यू
अनाबे शाही
अनाबे शाही
अनाबे शाही नाम नहीं सुना
सर
आपने
मैं क्या बता दूं ये बड़े कौन से कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव टाइप के ग्रेप्स
बड़े भाई अंगूर अनाबे शाही होते हैं
अच्छा
हाँ
ओके
एक थॉमसन सीडलेस होते हैं
या
और एक अनाबे शाही होते हैं
ये देखिए
हाँ
ये देखिए
ऐसा नाम होता है फल का आलू बुखार अनाबे शाही
ये देखिए इसलिए हम इनको क्लास टॉपर कहते हैं अंगूरों के बारे में भी इतनी जानकारी है इनको
दुकान में खरीद के आए
हम दुकान आ लेते हैं
सर सीडलेस खाएंगे अनाबे शाही खाएंगे सर अनाबे शाही खाएंगे
सर एक बात बताइए अगर सीडलेस है तो फिर उगता कैसे है दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन इसके बारे में हम बाद में बात करेंगे अभी हम बात करते हैं ऋषभ पंत के बारे में क्योंकि सीड्स किधर हैं और बार्क किधर है और ब्रांच किधर है और फूल किधर है और फल किधर है इसकी डिस्कशन काफी हुई है ऋषभ पंत के बारे में ओपन करें मिडिल ऑर्डर में खेलें 4 मैच हो गए हैं यू सीन हिम ऑफ कोर्स इन दिस पोजीशन his disposition in this position so what do you think middle order top order
I think opening वाली ट्रेन छूट गई
yeah I think so
क्योंकि अगर नहीं छूटती तो अब तक चांस मिला होता
लास्ट मैच में तो नहीं देंगे अब दैट्स seems a little weird to just do it
Yeah, not for one game only.
Yeah. So
I'm sticking to my word. I think Virat Kohli will open in Asia Cup.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
KL Rahul fit for Asia Cup?
I don't know, but I just
Rahul will play Asia Cup.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just
I'm
feel
not sure. We don't know. I mean, we'll know day after tomorrow, or tomorrow, basically Monday.
Monday,
Effectively, we'll know Monday because that's when the team for the Asia Cup is being announced.
I'm now a bit worried about Harsha Patel. They're saying he won't be fit for the Asia Cup.
Yeah, because we were just hearing that it was a rib injury and there was a little bruised rib, which will keep him out of games 2 and 3. But being out of the game today said that it is a side strain now. So obviously it was either misdiagnosed or it was just developing. So it's a side strain now, which means that he's
going to come up. Yeah.
He'll miss for a while then. That means Asia Cup
Jeffrey
gone.
Boycott telling us a story once of how his lead bowler got out of bed, yawned, stretched his hands and missed the rest of the season with a side strain.
Yeah, the side strains are very tricky for fast bowlers usually. I mean, it takes time generally.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard from all the bowlers that once they get side strain, it takes time.
Oh, that's tragic then because that means that he's going to miss the Asia Cup, and if he misses the Asia Cup, then well, I mean, you've got very few.
Look, he's got a track record behind him. Even if he misses the Asia Cup, I think he's done enough to be in the side. But do you want to take someone to the World Cup if he's just recovered from a side strain? For that, we will have to ask Mr. Zahir Khan, whose PhD is in hamstrings, but he might know enough about side strains.
But he might have a major in hamstrings, but may have a minor in side strains. All right. Well, let's talk about the 5th game now, which is happening tomorrow, later today, depending on which part of the world you're in. This is West Indies versus India. India has wrapped up the series. So will that mean that they have been experimenting. Will they give a chance to those who've been sitting on the bench? Let's have a look at the squad and see who's not playing.
The one that intrigues me is Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah.
Either he's
Kuldeep
not
Yadav
fully
is not
recovered or maybe he's too raw and he's not bowling enough, well enough in the nets. Because otherwise against this team that doesn't read wrist spin well and he's one who's got a lovely googly which turns away from the right-handers. The Chinaman into the left. So I was a little surprised. Today was a good day to play him, for example. So maybe he's a little rusty. He's not yet bowling well enough in the nets. So that could be the one reason I can think of.
If you remember when West Indies had come to India a few years back, Kuldeep Yadav spun this web around West Indies. And I remember I was doing that series with Brian Lara, and Brian Lara kept looking at the West Indies batters, and you can imagine, he's a legend. He's getting just so frustrated. And he's saying, they just continue, out of the hand. So he turns to me and he says, get him to bowl a few overs to me. I want to show the West Indies batters how to read him out of the hand.
Yeah.
I said, first of all, I don't know why you think that I run Kuldeep Yadav. I don't. Secondly, you're a legend. You can read anybody out of the hand.
Yeah. That is the big problem of being with legends. They find everything too simple. And you've got to remind them, that you're the maths teacher, but you've got to teach other people because you understand doesn't mean they do.
Yeah, they're class 4 kids.
Yeah. I mean,
In front of you.
I remember reading something about nobody played Murli better than Lara did.
Yeah.
And I remember this interview where they said, but how did you know, pick the Dusra and the other one? He said, because I knew which way he was going to bowl. And they said, but how did you know? He said, because I was making him bowl.
Oh, jeez. ये तो Christopher Nolan है.
So do you want to try telling that to Shimron Hetmeyer or Robman Powell?
No, you can't.
Without taking anything away from their own skills.
Yeah.
But he said, I was manipulating him and making him bowl the way I wanted him to bowl, which is what a lot of great batsmen say.
No, and one second, we're not talking about a gully bowler, right? We're talking about one of the greatest ever.
800.
800 wickets.
And then when he got those double hundreds, most of the runs were scored to mid-wicket. I think as a left-handed, when ball's turning square and Muralidharan would anyway spin on anything. So you usually as a left-handed, you just shut down leg side. And Brian Lara was only scoring on leg side. So
Yeah.
it is something, that's why Brian Lara is Brian
Amazing.
Lara.
Genius.
Love it. So, yeah, well, Cricbuzz Live, we love telling you stories. Sometimes they're a little more entertaining than team selection. And in this case, only Ishan and Kuldeep have not played. But will India play the same 11? Will they give Kuldeep and Ishan a game? We don't know. I don't know if the team is too concerned right now because I feel like the questions that they went with into the store, I think they've got answers and a few more as well. But for West Indies, since they are searching for answers, let's have a look at their team. I think it's just Hayden Walsh who's not had a game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just him.
Romario
Shepherd is not.
He played the ODIs, I think.
Romario Shepherd played first game, didn't he?
Played the first game. I thought Romario.
Oh, he did. Sorry,
Romario
Brooks
Shepherd,
and Brooks also played the first game.
Shamar Brooks played the first
game. So it's only Hayden Walsh Jr. who's not played actually.
Yeah.
I mean, they just play him. I guess if tomorrow, if this pitch becomes even slower.
Yeah.
There was that quiz question, wasn't there, when Shamar Brooks was batting with Nkrumah Bonner. When was the last time you had two batsmen batting with H as the letter of their first name? H as the last letter of their first name.
Oh wow, that's a very good. Is Joy Bhattacharya? Is the Joy Factor question?
There were two Smiths batting, so they said no, it was the first name.
Oh, okay.
And no, it's too late in the morning. It shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
it's time for me to go off to sleep.
Yes, and I
just saw Shamar and
Sir, if you ask these kind of questions, we may actually just fall asleep because we have no idea.
It is like this is like Brian Lara or Sachin Tendulkar talking about batting
twice.
That's exact what Mr.
Shamar
is going to ask.
You are guilty of the same thing you were accusing somebody else of. यही होता है वापस घूम के आता है जब एक उंगली ऐसे करते हैं तो तीन वापस आती है अपने तरफ यही होता है learn children. We are just pulling Bade Bhai's leg. But yeah, if West Indies does do the one change, maybe Hayden Walsh Jr. But right now, I don't think they need a change in personnel. Perhaps a change in mindset, a change in thought, make that a little more positive. Come out and play tomorrow like the real challengers. Because I think what we have noticed is there's just been they are a little damadole, dilly-dallying in their own thought, right?
Yeah, I think they should just play with one approach. Just go out there and play, try and get either 200 or $100.
Bust.
Yeah. There's no point playing smart cricket, just try and hit.
Yeah, it's basically what is Parthiv Patel's philosophy on the weekend. Go big or go home. That's how they should be playing.
I'm going home.
He's going to go home today, sir. Go big or go home में हमेशा go home ही बोलता है पर सवाल हमेशा पूछता है. Go big or go home.
I'm going home.
Go big or go home. All right, so we're going to go home because we went big on the show today. So we're going to go home. But before that, we are going to bring out the dreaded Joy Factor question. But this time it's not that dreaded because the answer comes right after it. Here is the question. It is which cricketer made his international debut less than 2 months after his IPL debut and later claimed Adam Mill as his first international wicket? तुमसे मिलने का दिल कर से बताए.
Some people do call him Milne, by the way.
हाँ, बहुत लोग.
हाँ.
तुमसे मिलने का दिल करता है. बताओ कोई आंसर guess.
We know the answer.
Huh?
I know the answer.
Oh, so give the answer then.
Venkatesh Iyer.
Venkatesh Iyer. Do you also? Oh, acha, the producer told
I think
us.
it's Venkatesh. I agree.
He told us. It is Venkatesh Iyer. That is Venkatesh Iyer. And let's see who got it correct. Who was the first person to get the right answer in? It is Suryansh Sethia. We're seeing some very, these names, regular names coming back again and again as the winners.
The interesting one there, of course, was that an IPL was played in September, October, because normally you play an IPL, it ends in May and you don't have cricket immediately after. Or you didn't have cricket immediately after. Now you do.
Or only in England. Or you would go to England and play.
Though this time India played games in June.
Yeah.
India play in June.
Or
So
maybe
straight
India
after.
goes to Zimbabwe usually after IPL.
There you go. So
And they're going to Zimbabwe now.
No.
Next season is Zimbabwe.
yeah, but we were talking about New Zealand, of course. So as usual, a little doozy from Joy, and thank you so much for sending in your correct answers. All right, that's it. We're done now. That's it.
You are done.
You are done.
That's end to play.
You are done.
You are done.
Oh, I keep forgetting. Yeah, you guys have to do the Hindi show now, no?
Because
Is it
that
live?
gets- no,
Live?
No, because that's the morning show that gets watched the most, so they're letting you.
अच्छा अच्छा लेकिन इसका क्या काम उसमें बात तो सही बोली है ना जोक अपने ऊपर है तो क्या हुआ बात तो सही है हंसना तो पड़ेगा वेरी गुड सर ऑलराइट सो they are going to work and I'm not going to go home. I'm going to go big as I can. Thank you very much to Parthiv Patel, Mr. Harsha Bhogle. Thank you very much. I am Gaurav Kapur and I'm going to be heading home.